Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Thor 2, The Dark World. This movie is directed by television director Alan Taylor, who previously directed episodes of Boardwalk Empire, Oz, and Game of Thrones. And this movie stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, and Tom Hiddleston, with Christopher Eccleston, Idris Elba, and Anthony Hopkins. This sequel to Thor takes place shortly after the Avengers, where we see Loki standing trial and Thor trying to maintain peace in the different realms around Asgard. But an ancient evil re-emerges and it threatens the life of Jane Foster, so Thor must stop this threat. But he can't do it alone, so he enlists the help of an unlikely ally. Thor 2 was much better than Thor 1. This movie had everything I wanted from a good sequel. Good special effects, better action, a good storyline, interesting characters. I even liked how this movie focused more on Asgard and the Asgardians, Thor, Odin, Loki, and their mother, rather than on Earth with Jane Foster and Eric Selvig. I even liked how this movie gave us development to the characters. All of the minor characters that were introduced in the first one kind of took a back seat this time around, because it was like if you haven't seen Thor 1 or the Avengers, then you need to catch up. Chris Hemsworth proves once again that he was born to play Thor. Nobody can play that role quite like him. I liked how he was the serious warrior, but then he was also the oblivious, not quite used to Earth and their customs type of character, which provided some of the best comedic moments in the movie, just like the first one. I also like Tom Hiddleston in this movie. Going into it, I was kind of worried. I'm like, okay, Loki again, he's been overplayed, but I was wrong because it was really nice to see him again. There are some scenes with Thor and him that just show great chemistry amongst these two actors. There's a scene especially where they're walking through a hallway of Asgard and Thor is serious and focused and totally determined, and yet Loki is making all these jokes and funny lines, and there's even a surprise Avenger cameo in that scene, which is also nice to see. So, good job, guys. Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, was also back this time around, and even though I understand she was Thor's love interest and his reason for returning to Earth, she really could have been either omitted or given something better to do in this movie. But she was in the comics, so she was okay for what she was. And with Natalie Portman's character, you also have Darcy, played by Kat Dennings, who was the Jar Jar Binks of the Marvel Universe. At first, she was pointing out very obvious things and being comedic, but then she became really, really annoying. However, I did appreciate the fact that Anthony Hopkins, Idris Elba, and Rene Russo were back this time around, but they were more important in this movie. They were given more screen time and they were more involved with the plot. The only problem I have with the movie was the villain. Christopher Eccleston is a good actor, and this movie really could have used an extra 15 minutes to explore more of the villain, give us an understanding of why he's doing what he's doing. He was introduced, but give us a backstory, give us more development, because all he came off as was, okay, cool-looking bad guy that needs to be stopped by the good guy, and that's it. Because Thor 2 had awesome action, good character development, and was overall a good sequel, I'm going to give Thor: The Dark World an A. Whether you're a fan of Chris Hemsworth or the Marvel franchise in general, check this movie out, guys. And in case you're wondering, yes, there are two scenes after the credits, one important one after the animated credits, and then a deleted scene type moment after the scrolling credits, but you can skip it. So until next time, guys, see ya.